okay there? Your nipples out?
Well, I don't want to get changed because I'll have to get. I don't want to like wear all my indoor stuff because then I'll have to change again when we go outside. Because my plan is to do my warm up now indoors on the turbo, which starts in like 5 minutes. We're doing a live stream, so I'm gonna do my warm up indoors, half an hour. I think it's like a 10-minute block at like 80% of FTP, and then 5 minutes at a higher intensity after a bit of rest, and then some over and unders to finish. That should prime me. It's pouring rain outside, so I'm gonna have to get, you know, kitted up quite a lot afterwards, and then I'm gonna ride straight to the climb, which will be about a 20-minute spin. You're gonna drive there, aren't you? So I'll see you there after the warm up. But yeah. Alright, I'm gonna jump on now. I'll see you in half an hour. Not raining that much. The sun's out as well. Sun's out and it's raining. It's a phenomenon.
I can't say that, so.
I am quite warm, which is great. I've got my special trousers on from Amazon with the zip all the way down so I can wrap them off right at the end. Breakfast this morning, I had oats, well, porridge, honey and peanut butter. I've had a coffee and I need a bar.
It's nice seeing you. It's nice seeing you.
You recording?
Yeah.
You tell them it's messy while they're recording.
Yeah.
It's not messy, it's just the stuff that moves around so I can get ready in time. This is just as much flap as I'd have before an actual hill climb, so it's just I don't have any of the nerves or pressure that I would have, which is the biggest difference between, you know, anybody can do what I'm doing now today, but doing it on event day is another thing entirely. To scrap what I said about nerves, I feel nervous. Look, we've caught a nice window, it's not raining. Don't know what to say. I'll meet you at the top.
You don't want me to stop halfway and film?
No, it makes no difference.
Okay, copy.
So I'm going to be doing the same phase halfway up as I am at the top.
Where is the top officially, like the segment?
Segment ends just before the cattle grid.
So shall I go over the cattle grid and park in that drive?
Well, wherever you feel best to park, you park. And then I'm going to finish this before the cattle grid, so if you want to walk down, you can walk down. I'm not going to hang about, I'm literally going to like strip off and hit it, so you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. There's not going to be any pacing involved here really, because I'm going for a PB, so I'm afraid that if I go conservative, it won't be it won't be everything.
Okay.
I don't know. It's all alien to me. Believe it or not. Feels weird not wearing the skin suit as well. Till next year. Right, you go.
Okay.
You get to the top of the cattle grid.
Okay.
Park somewhere there.
Yeah.
And walk down like before the cattle grid.
Okay.
The finish is just before the cattle grid. So.
Okay. I'll see you up there.
Yeah.
I'm making friends vlog. They're saying hello. Hello. I got no apples for you. Sorry, guys. Aww.
Bad place to finish. That's so good.
Do you want me to go and get the car?
That hill is like, it's steeper. I got it all wrong.
You made me ride up that in like...
So the segment I used that I mapped out, Strava said it was 750. It's not. Because I got to 700 metres, or 720 metres, like way before I even got here. So that's where I actually finished my effort. I just thought I'd put a dig in there because the camera was there. But like, I don't know how Strava like so far out. Like Strava reckon the finish would be there. Which is like, so where you were standing by that gate, that's where the finish was. That was 700 metres that I rode on my Wahoo. The segment said it was, segment reckon that was 500 metres, but they cut the hedge. They've cut the hedge between now and since I rode it.
Riding up there.
So
yeah.
I came round, well I did the first 100 metres and I came around the steep bit where the hairpin
really
and like there's big like chunks of like, and I was like, my front wheel was going on it, my back wheel was going on it, so it was like really difficult to like I was navigating twigs as well as trying to get up the climb, and that was not ideal, but hey ho. We'll upload it and see what power I got. I set off hard. Well, I set off as hard as I could basically sustain, but I feel like it must have been pretty close. Like I didn't fade as much as I have done. Maybe that's something to take away from this. That's one thing that maybe the training has done. It maybe hasn't like, well, it has in some respects boosted my maximum power, but I think if anything, it's just allowed me to ride at that intensity a bit longer, rather than like, you know, sustaining a higher power. It's just allowing me to sustain the power that I was already capable of doing, because it didn't really drop off. I was doing about 570 ish maybe for the first minute. That was just because I was glancing down. Maybe I only glanced down about 3 times throughout the whole thing, and it was only the last, maybe it was like a middle section between 1 minute and like 1 minute 20 where I was like starting to waver, and then I think I was able to like pick it back up and hold, like compose myself and hold it. So I'm happy with that anyway. Like I haven't even looked at the data or anything, but I'm happy with that, because same takeaway as usual. Like we set out to do something, we've done it anyway, because it's your knees getting old. So yeah, I'm just happy that I've been able to do it. So let's not get too cold. even though I'm still boiling from that warm up, doing it indoors and then wrap it up. So I'm still quite
scared of my new friends. I made friends with some donkeys, and
donkeys,
you scared them. They were beautiful. They came looking for apples.
I might need a hand to get up for it. Have you passed that? Oh, at the top.
On the drive, yeah.
I found.
The cattle grid's really slippy, so don't ride over it.
Thanks for the warning. Oh, look at that. Yeah, so you don't have to run. I'm only going very fast. My lap power on here reckons 495. I don't think that's right. That also sounds quite low. I hope it's not right. Although saying that, it doesn't matter about, this is the other thing, like it doesn't matter about power, because, so I was trying to tell somebody actually, a hill climb is just a time trial uphill. So it's all about who's the fastest, who's got the highest average speed. So if I did 700 meters in 2 minutes there, that's still, in theory, good enough to beat my time on Streetly that I set a couple of weeks ago. Oh, it's almost a month ago now. So if that is the case, then we have technically gone faster. Maybe it's the way I use that power now. So like I said, I don't have to put out as much power, but I'm able to use it differently. Yeah. Hang on. Hey!
Less gracefully.
You get some panoramic shots here. Just show people the climb.
I did when I got out of the car.
It's absolutely mental. It's hang on. Oh, flipping heck. That's why I hate these long short efforts. Trying to catch your breath back is completely different to doing like a 20-minute effort. I seem like to recover really quick from them. So we get a thumbnail for Scott. How are we gonna? What kind of thumbnail are we gonna go for?
You don't want to lie down on the wet road, do you?
No, we're not doing that one again.
Pushing it over cattle grass.
We've done a pushing one. This is what goes into these videos, because you see Scott, you know, we really sacrifice things to get things right for you. So you roll it.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be pretty funny if we took the thumbnail picture on that climb.
Cookie cookie.
On the gravel.
On someone's driveway.
Is that driveway?
Yeah. You got a post box at the bottom.
Actually, here's a good shot, possibly. So we'll put the bike here. Like that. And then I'm going to sit on the stone. See, you better give me some likes for this, mind. It's not just about the effort.
About the content.
Sorry.
Destroying nature.
And I got crap on my leg.
Okay, I'm going to stop filming.
Alright, see what we did then. Power curve says 499 watts for 2 minutes. That's not even a PB. But I think in these circumstances that's acceptable. Okay, first impressions, well not first impressions, second impressions now that I've uploaded it. Not as good as I thought, but there's positives to be taken out of it. So it didn't feel, although I went as hard as I could, it didn't feel as hard as the efforts I was doing over a similar duration a month ago. So the training that I've done has obviously made it not so much feel easier, but it's, I think now, a little bit more normal.
than what it was. And to a certain extent, that's what short-term training will do. Short-term training won't necessarily, create massive changes, particularly if you're already at high level, like, I understand I am. But over the long term, so say, if this experiment is ongoing, which it kind of is, because we're, although we were focused on the British Hill Climb Championships, we're not actually there. So the difference between actually being there, on the event day and doing it with the other pressures involved is completely different. Also, I think, even a month ago, I kind of knew that I wouldn't be able to go to the National Hill Climb Championships. And when you're preparing for something and it's in the back of your mind that you're not actually going to be able to achieve that, being at the event, it creates this like this little hole that you end up missing. This, you're training for something, and to a certain extent, we were training for 600 watts for 2 minutes. Is it achievable? In 4 weeks, it probably isn't. A lot of you probably thought that it wouldn't be achievable in that short term, and it likely isn't, but that's not going to stop us from still trying over the next week or 2 weeks, both inside and out, because sometimes you have a window of opportunity, and that window of opportunity, isn't just one day. So, if just like, you put in your best performance, say next Thursday, what's to say that your best performance isn't on the Friday? So even though like tapering and everything else that comes along with it only goes so far to telling you like what day you're going to peak, you still have a window of opportunity, I believe, anyway. So we're still going to keep trying and seeing if we can improve on the 500. That's a provisional 500 at the minute, obviously, and see if we can get closer to that 600. It's also Zwift racing season and the Zwift racing league that we're doing. I know that's slightly off a tangent of a lot of you be watching like hill climbing stuff and only interested in what I'm doing outdoors and hill climbing stuff, and that's totally understandable. But I just want to say like that really lends itself to the short power effort. So I'm going to still keep training and preparing the way I am, obviously including a bit more variance in my training now, but we've still ticked it off. We've still prepared for this day. We're still mentally prepared for this day, even though, like I said, I knew a month ago, and that's the big game changer. Like, if I'm being brutally honest, like, I've not felt like doing this, and I've not felt like doing this because I haven't had the event to do it. And even though I enjoy the training and the preparation more than I enjoy the end result, still, like, in my mind, knowing that I wasn't going to be able to do the event has already put me on the back foot, and that's completely normal if you experience that as well. And there's only so much then you can do and you can give and you prepare. Just like if you were going to the Olympic Games and you're in the team pursuit or something, and there's 6 of you fighting for a spot on the team pursuit, and you're all training for it, you're all training for the Olympics, you're building up for 4 years, and then you find out you don't make the cut, and it's like, what do you do then? Like, do you still like try and mimic the race yourself, which you obviously can't do, but it's the same kind of idea. So there's only one thing left to do. You know what it is. I'm putting an Ed Mode sticker on the sign up there. Let's see how this goes. Mission accomplished. I'm back. I'm freezing cold. That was not warm out there today.
It's a bit of an odd sport, isn't it? National sort of hill climbing in the UK.
It is very odd. Particularly, well, I think a lot of people talk about, when they watch the Tour de France or any big race that involves a lot of climbing, It's funny how this country, you know, has like a dedicated scene to hill climbing, and a lot of the power numbers that you see on the hill climbing scene, they're completely off the charts. And it's really nice to showcase people who can do that, but you know, at like an amateur level, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these numbers these guys are putting out, 10, 12 watts per kilo for 2 minutes. You know, they've got to be. This could be, you know, pro numbers.
Yeah.
There he is. Go on, Tom. Go on, Tom. Come on, Tom. Push it now. Push it. You get me. Go. Come on, Tom. Little smile from Tom there as he went past. He's obviously not trying hard enough. Right, Ed, it's your turn. So you've got to film it, and I'm sure you'll be back seriously strong next year. So a top-notch champion for 2019, handing over the reins to someone, probably be known first. Hill climb humour, Callum first. There you go. So it might be the Scratch Bear himself who's won. We'll find out in a minute, and we'll walk up the hill and see what's happening. But thanks very much for joining us, Ed.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks, guys. Well, that was really nice. That was really nice to be a part of Cycling Pulse's live stream. We didn't even plan on that happening, but I just caught up with them. They got 185k followers on Instagram. But there's only 60 watching. Come on, you can watch that. Yeah, I suppose that's made my day, actually. That has made my day. And so, by the magic of YouTube, we have fast forward 14 hours, possibly. It's now 10 a.m. the next day. I just want to, because everybody's uploaded now to Strava, I just want to jump in and just give you a little bit of insight into what it took to win the National Hill Climb Championships yesterday. And also answer a quick key question, I suppose, and that is it still possible for me to be able to do 600 watts at 60 kilos for 2 minutes? So first of all, taking a look at the guys who had the top 2 spots at the Nationals. That's Andrew Feather, who's now your new National Hill Climb champion. You can go and follow him now, you don't have to follow me anymore. And Tom Bell. Tom Bell came second. Congrats to them both. Also congrats to everybody else on an amazing effort. No matter what position you finished, you still did yourself proud. And looking at the 2 efforts, okay, so Andrew Feather and Tom Bell separated by basically a second. Tom Bell, according to Strava, is 56.9 kilos, and his power for the climb, he did 2 minutes at 546 watts, which is 9.6 watts per kilo. Now, in theory, if Feather was to just beat him by a second, then surely their watts per kilo would be, well, you'd think almost identical. If not, obviously Feather's would be slightly more. Obviously, we're not taking into account bike weight either here, so let's just take that out of the equation. But Andrew Feather's weight on Strava is 63, apparently. Now, this is obviously what they have in their settings, so I don't know if it's right or not. But his 2 minute power is like 10.3 watts per kilo, which is massively different to Tom. So whether or not the weight is right or wrong, I don't know. But I've changed his weight to 66 kilos, which is 3 kilos heavier. And now he's done 9.8 for 2 minutes, which seems a little bit more, you know, realistic in terms of the time difference between the two of them. So it still puts that range of 9.5 to 10 certainly achievable, I think, for someone like myself. Now, is 600 watts at 60 kilos for me achievable for 2 minutes? Short answer, yes. My best ever doesn't really come near it, but my best ever 1 minute is 666 watts, which is 11.6 watts per kilo, or something in that ballpark. If I could get back to that type of rider where I was very punchy, very anaerobic, this is a good few years ago now, by the way, this is like almost 4 or 5 years ago when I did this, then maybe I could change my whole, I mean, it's obviously taken 4 or 5 years for me to change from, you know, someone who could do 11.6 watts per kilo for a minute to somebody who now is, I guess, very much a diesel engine at doing 6.3, 6.5 watts per kilo for an hour. So something we can definitely do, I think. I'm just putting it out there, and I've already said it and I failed to achieve it but that doesn't mean it's not achievable. So, you know, when, if, I have no idea, but it's definitely one to keep our eyes on for the future. So that's it. I'm gonna end this video now. Appreciate you watching. There's a lot of talking in it because I've just finished editing it. There's a lot of talking. There's a lot of just me and Charlie. You know, sorry we couldn't be at the Nationals. Well, we were actually stopped by the regulations from being at the Nationals. There was nothing we could do. Appreciate you watching as ever. The journey. It's great to bring you along. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.